welcome you here today. उर्दू में अगर बात करूँ तो हाजी अब्दुल रज़ाक याकूब साहब, हाँ जी, हाजी अब्दुल रज़ाक याकूब साहब के इस रेफरेंस के हवाले से पहले तो मैं आपसे गुजारिश करूँगा कि आप सारे फातिहा पढ़ लें और फातिहा करने के बाद इंशाल्लाह अलीना से गुजारिश करेंगे कि वो तकलीफ करें। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन सल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैर मुहम्मद नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि बिरहमतिका या रहमान। तो हाजी साहब को मैं शहजादा हयात डायरेक्टर साहब को का शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि इन्होंने ये मीटिंग ऑर्गेनाइज़ की है और बाकी मीटिंग तो इंशाल्लाह चलती रहेगी। मैं हाजी अब्दुल रज़ाक साहब को उस वक़्त से जानता हूँ जब इन्होंने पाकिस्तान टीवी ख़रीदा था और इसको ARY 1 और ARY न्यूज़ बाद में जो चैनल बनाया। बहुत शरीफ फैमिली है, बहुत शरीफ आदमी थे, बहुत अच्छे इंसान थे। मैं हॉस्पिटल भी उनको विज़िट करने के लिए गया, बल्कि उनके लास्ट जो हॉस्पिटल से ट्रांसफ़र थी वो मैं कह सकता हूँ कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने कंसल्टेंट से बात करके वो फैसिलिटेट करवाई। फैमिली के साथ मेरा तल्लक़ है, उनके साथ यानी बड़ी इज़्ज़त और एहतराम था। तो हम दुआ करते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला उनको जन्नतुल फिरदौस में जगह अता फरमाए। ये आखिरी मकाम हर एक इंसान के लिए है, क्योंकि कुरान में अल्लाह ने फरमाया है कुल्लु नफ्सिन ज़ाइक़तुल मौत, हर एक जो भी जान वाली चीज़ है उसको मौत का जायका चखना है। तो इसीलिए चाहे वो पैगंबर हों, चाहे वो ऑर्डिनरी इंसान हों, सब ने इस घड़ी देखनी है, ये टाइम देखना है। तो बहरहाल अल्लाह सुब्हाना ताला से ये दुआ है कि अल्लाह मथाजी से बचाए और अल्लाह लंबी बीमारी से बचाए।
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, your lordship and members of parliament. We are all gathered here to pay tribute to Haji Abdul Razzak Yaqoob. My father told me about some of the great work that he had done. He migrated from Surat in India to Karachi in Pakistan in 1944 and became a successful businessman. Among those businesses, in 1972, ARY was established and is still successful today. He was a pious Muslim. He never missed his prayers and always played an active part in the Islamic religious affairs. In the later years, contributing towards charities was his greatest pleasure. Words cannot express greatness. It's only bestowed upon a few, and very few people in this day and age sacrifice their own pleasure in order to make sure the poorest and most vulnerable have the most basic things in life. Let us all pray this evening that Allah grant the deceased a place in paradise. Ameen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good evening to you all. Welcome to the House of Lords. It is an occasion that we are here today to remember somebody who spent most of his life for the community, for the people, and who is no longer with us. It's a great loss, and people of Pakistan and people of Pakistani origin who live around the world will remember Haji Sahab for his all good work, his charitable work, as well as the role that he played in the media and giving the people independent voice and highly respected voice. I mean, ARY has really earned a reputable name with Haji Sahab's guidance, and people rely on information supplied by channels like ARY, and it is all, I think, credit to the late Haji Sahab that he gave the right kind of policy to his own channel. We have seen many other private channels, and no disrespect to any other channels, but we have seen some which are for self-publicity reasons and promotion of their own businesses and whatever. But in this case, we have seen that independent channels such as the ARY, which has taken some, I think, some flack as well because of that. Being independent is not easy. Reporting or giving the independent or a correct kind of news is not always easy, and you get many challenges, and certainly ARY has faced many challenges. They have met bravely and have not given up, and they actually continued with their good work, which is again it is good to see, and it is good that Haji Saab actually allowed the channel to perform independently. And as I said, the community will remember Haji Saab for a very long time. He's a great loss. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him a place in Jannat al-Firdaus, and give the family and the friends and the rest of the community courage to deal with this loss. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now progress with the proceedings today, paying our memorial tribute to a pioneer in the world of business as far as Pakistan was concerned, as well as UAE in Dubai. I had the pleasure of sitting and meeting and discussing business opportunities with Haji Saab in Dubai. I met their family, daughters, I met all their workers, etc. And I can only say that he was a real legend in the world of business. I'll tell you a little bit more as we go along, but what I'd like to do now is to bring forth some other speakers here present today with us who would like to say a few words during this memorial tribute to Haji Saab. I'd like to welcome now in the House of Lords today, Monday, let's see, Dr. Sohail Chugtai from Apex TV, and he's also, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself when you come on?
Thank you very much, Lord Kurbanus, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity to speak at this house for a person, I think, who has the history of evolution of Pakistan TV. If we write, there would be one name shining loud and clear, bright and shining, and that is Haji Abdul Razzak Yaqoob. And I say this not just out of emotion. It is actually a statement made on figures and statistics. I mean, if you look back, many of you, or maybe few of you probably remember 1950 when American consulate in Pakistan did a demo of TV in Mazar-e-Qaid. That was the first exposure of Pakistani Qawm or nationals to a TV channel. A local channel set on Mazar-e-Qaid. That was the flavor of a TV. And then in 1964, and I think some of you may remember the day when PTV came into being, November 1964 in Lahore. It's not personal. But that is the time when Pakistani TV came into being. And then I remember 1976 when the whole transmission became color. It was still an evening transmission, 5:30, 10:30, finishing with the Pakistani anthem. And I remember that grainy screen with Pakistani anthem flowing, and when that was in the background, my mother used to say, "You're waking up too late, you must sleep, there's a school in the morning." So PTV came in, and then the evolution carried on. I mean, in 1980, the morning transmission started. And that was the big change. And then in 1988, the bottleneck of government censor was released. There was a semi-government channel, STN. That was the time when the bottleneck of the news release was semi-opened and a semi-government channel came to be. But that was not enough because the evolution had to go on. If you stop information, you strangulate people, you take oxygen away. And that was done at that time. And then came 1990, I think, NTN, Network TV Television Marketing Channel came into being. That was the first full private channel. But financially it didn't survive. In 1999, that went off air. Then Haji Sahib, I think he was a visionary. He was a visionary. He brought ARY digital into the market from England at that time. I think he bought a channel which was converted into a Pakistani Urdu channel. Urdu Pakistani channel. And that channel was the revolution of a free intellectual media representative of Pakistan globally, because it had two clear effects. One was internal effect, one was external effect. And the external effect was, again, basically, I think you may remember when you had 20 channels here on UK programming, no Pakistani channel. You used to go buy videos, £10 or £8 per 24 hours, and watch them. And that was the only link to your identity outside your local interaction. So identity crisis was a factor in the society which was not addressed by Pakistani media. And Eric Erikson is a very famous psychologist in 1980s. He did a lot of work in psychosocial development. He said if a nation loses identity outside their country, negative identity creeps in. Weak people take drugs, crimes. Very weak people go in procrastination. They can't decide for their future. So there was a need for a channel to anchor people outside Pakistan back to Pakistan. And I think this was where ARY stood upright. I'm really proud to say that Haji Sahib had shown a lot of vision that time. It was not just a business venture. It was economic venture. It was a cultural venture. It was a social venture. And that time, identity adherence was important. So that was one effect, external effect. The other was the soft image of Pakistan. Imagine there was bad news about Pakistan. Pakistan was always on the defensive. There was a video about Pakistan, and all we could do is defend in local print newspapers. There was no kind of, you can say, neck-to-neck competition. How can a print media compete with video? So there was a need for a video channel to defend Pakistan. And that is, again, an external effect. A soft image of Pakistan was portrayed. But that was the external side. But what about the internal effect? I think if you just look at the formation of opinion, I think free channel can democratize society. A government-owned channel cannot. How can you imagine a government giving you information and you expect to have a democracy in the country? And people much wiser than me, Dr. Zaid Khan Saab, sitting here, can probably understand it much better than me, that a free flow of information without any truncation, any editing from the government sector is required for establishing a democracy in the country. So that is where ARY had internal effect. It democratized the public opinion. You know, people watching debates, it's not just sitting and watching a debate and coming out of it clean. You interact with that. You come out of that debate with an opinion. He was right, he's wrong. And that forms the electoral opinion. So you choose your leaders, and that is the bigger effect of that. And plus the internal effect, like creating jobs. You know, you see a lot of people otherwise who would be not doing anything, but they have got ARY mic or any TV channel mic, and they are taking interviews. So there's a lot of ramification of what Haji Sahib did. And I think this is an amazing thing. I am really proud to say that he was not a businessman only. He had a vision for developing, seeing Pakistan as a much brighter country. And he did that. And he was supported by, I read brief history, Haji Iqbal Sahib, Haji Jan Muhammad, then Haji Abdul Rauf, and then the young generation, Salman Sahib and yourself sitting here. And then the operations are led by Fayaz Ghafoor, so very, very enthusiastic, always after people. So it's a great thing, and I think I support Pakistani channels because they are lessening the effect of identity crisis of overseas Pakistanis. I think it's 100+ countries ARY is going now, 165. So imagine how much Pakistanis are being connected, how much effect is being created. So I think at that note, I really want to end. But I want to say that for the last few days of Haji Sahib, I was involved in the management, and Fayaz got me into the management of making a board. So we had Haji Saab transferred into Wellington Hospital, and the consultant who was looking after Haji Saab, he gave me a feedback. He said, this man is a fighter. In the wake of all the serious illnesses, Haji Saab was confident, he was upright, and he used to have a very gentle smile on his face. So I pray for Haji Saab, and I wish that his family, in particular Shabana, the daughter who was interacting with me regarding the management, they have courage to bear this loss. It's a loss for all of us. And I really joined the prayer, and I'm thankful that I had a chance to say some words about Haji Saab. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sayers. Thank you. We move on, ladies and gentlemen, at the House of Lords this evening. What I'd like to do now is to bring on board our distinguished professor and a doctor who would like to say a few words on this very special evening as a tribute to Haji Saab, Abdul Razzak Yaqoob's tribute here at the House of Lords. We would like to say hello and welcome to Professor Dr. Zedyu Khan. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lord Qurban San, most distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege for me to join you in paying tribute to ARY. And I would like to start by saying or expressing my sincere thanks to Dr. Sohail Chughtai and Shahzada Saab for extending this invitation to me. I had known Haji Saab very well. And today you need to speak about the person. That's why we're here. But what can you say about him? After listening to my predecessors, and particularly the young lady here, I think you have it all. But nevertheless, I think what we have to do is we'll share our experiences as well. Because, Lord Qurban, if I have to give the best example of a person who have humanity and humility, then there are very few people in the world that you can name, and Haji Saab was one of the persons whose name could be there. He was a shining example of what we do in our daily life and what our rights are to God and to human beings as well at the same time. And I think he stressed on what responsibilities we have as far as the human beings are concerned. And I think that is why I say that there is no better person who was more humane, and there's no better person who was more humble than Haji Saab himself. Now he has given us ARY, and I think there is a lesson to be learned here. I totally agree with my predecessors that ARY is one of the channels which was not only has served independently the people of Pakistan who were resident abroad in particular I'm talking about, but at the same time given us a visionary thing, a visionary theme, how to make progress. Because as you know perfectly well, that we are not really recognized at the moment, even as a nation, in the wider world here. So I think what we had to do is we had to have more knowledge, and that knowledge is provided, and that is basically what he was leading up to. And I think what we need to do, and I hope very much that ARY, that's the television, not the Haji Saab, will continue to follow those footsteps. And that is what we need to look at. I think we have a responsibility, not only and particularly to the officials of ARY, I'll say that we have a responsibility as a community, not just to say good words today and then forget all about it. But I think what we have to do is we have to follow those practices which are going to serve the people of Pakistan living anywhere in the world, but particularly living overseas. And I think there are certain programs still which we need to modify. And these are the areas, and I agree with Lord Qurban that what he has seen is an independent view from ARY but I think I would personally like to see more independent view, getting more people like Dr. Sayyid Chuftai and in the management and giving some ideas that what is required for Pakistan here. The base is there. It has reached a stage where we can now progress. We have got the credibility now of the media, the ARY, but I think we have to enhance that credibility in the future. I can only share the same prayers which others have done, and may God bless his soul, give him rutabat in the heaven, and give us the strength to make sure that we carry on his message in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Professor Dr. Zaid Khan, your comments are valid.
I would like to say a few words on behalf of Islamabad Stock Exchange with regards to the contribution rendered by Haji Abdul Yaqoob Sahab. Haji Abdul Yaqoob Sahab played an important role in the national economy of Pakistan by leading a key business group in the country with his hard work and struggle. He introduced the ARY group on the national and international level. So he played a pivotal role in the promoting the business outside Pakistan.
और अपना वो कीमती जितना भी टाइम उनके पास होता था, उनकी ख्वाहिश यही थी कि कोई भी शख्स दुखी उनके सामने ना रहे, चाहे वो उसके इदारे का कोई फ़र्द हो, वो चपरासी से लेके अपने डायरेक्टर्स तक का ख्याल रखते थे, चाहे वो उनके ड्राइवर होते थे, चाहे वो जो भी लोग होते थे, उनके इदारे के अंदर भी वो उनका बड़ा एहतराम और ख्याल रखते थे और उनकी कोशिश और ख्वाहिश हर वक्त यही होती थी कि किसी भी शख्स को वो बेरोज़गार ना करें अपने इदारे से, वो रखते थे उसी तरह।
Thank you. My Lord, thank you for the opportunity and for you giving us here today and chairing this meeting and allowing the British Pakistanis to join the parliamentarians to show our grief and our sorrow and share with my fellow British Pakistani and Pakistani countrymen. What did Haji Abdul Razzak Yaqoob Sahab meant to us, the British Pakistanis, is as follows. That here is a man who has inspired not only people of Pakistan, but people who are in this country. A man who we look up and who has left us a tremendous amount of legacy and who has left so much for us to follow, a great role model, and who has went through hardships and difficulties in his time, and all of those times were very difficult. And today we are able to speak here and we have our wonderful community here. And pioneers of these things and these opportunities were people like Haji Abdul Razzak. What was this man meant to us? I mean, there are people who worked with Haji Sahab, who knew him, and of course the family, they were at the privilege and vantage point. But we, as looking in and seeing how we've benefited, he has brought Pakistan around the world to people, to their homes, kept them close to their homeland, has helped raise millions of pounds for charity for Pakistan, has helped hundreds and thousands of children in not only Pakistan, not only Muslims or Pakistanis, but across the field. We feel proud that we take this opportunity, the British Pakistanis, to use our Parliament, our House of Lords and our laws here to salute this great man for what he's achieved. He has showed us you could do business and take it to the highest level, and yet you could do piousness and faith and religion and still take that to the highest level. Normally the two at times conflict and they're hard to meet together, but he has shown us that the two, how they can come together. He's a great man. We will remember him, and we are honored that today our British parliamentarians here have paid tribute, and my British community is here to say that we salute you, sir, we remember you, and thank you for making the communication, thank you for making the education, thank you for helping all those people who needed it, thank you for being the voice of the people, thank you for above all. And I would like to say to the people who are steering the ship, and also to the family, and I think, I'm not a poet, but I'm a British Pakistani, but there are one or two things I listen to. There's great poets sitting here, some people I know. And I think if I could say something to you, would be, Kar chale ab to hum fida jaan aur tan sathiyo, ab tumhare hawale hai watan sathiyo. So, sir, we salute your, the great family member in this great House of Lords, and we are privileged and honoured that our Lords have joined us. Together with my British Pakistanis, we as a community, we are united, we will take his goal and we work together, and we are there, and we'd like to thank you. At this stage, what I would like to do is now Yasmin Qureshi has arrived, and to remember this day that my British Pakistani community is here, I'm going to ask our Lord Sahib to present you with this for your office or home, that at the House of Lords there was a memorial tribute. My Lord Yasmin Qureshi, a parliamentarian, if you could come here and present this to the family and the staff of, and I would also like to ask
The Honourable Lord Praban, Dr. Saab, Shahzada Saab, thank you very much for organizing this tribute. It's a pleasure to be here, to hear such kind words from my father, my uncle, who has always been a father to me and to my entire family. From ARY family, we are very grateful, and with the support that the British Pakistanis and the British people have given us. I was in the hospital for almost more than a year, and I had the privilege, along with my other family members, to take care of him. I was 20 years old when I started working with Haji Saab, and in those 14 years, and especially in the last 1 year, I've learned a lot from him. Not only in the field of business, but also the way he used to conduct himself in society, giving back to the nation, giving back to his community. I only pray that we, his children, carry on his work and also to fulfill his dream, keep on doing what he did. And obviously with your support, hopefully, inshallah, we will carry on his work and always keep his name where he's supposed to be. Thank you very much.
Firstly, I just want to thank Lord Qaban Hussain for hosting the event today, and to Hajat and to everyone for organising this event today to celebrate the life of Haji Yaqoob and to commemorate his work and his life. I think many of the other speakers have probably said most of what I probably want to say. Everybody knows that he was the man who founded ARY. ARY has a number of different channels specialising in different things. It was one of the first also independent outlet of news because until he came about, most of the news were all from PTV. So it's good to get another outlet which dealt with the political affairs of Pakistan and South Asia. We know that ARY was watched in America, in Europe, in Pakistan, and other parts of the Middle East as well, and has a wide following and people watching it. Can I just pass on a message to Yaqoob Saab's nephew that my mother in particular has 8 or 4 ARY on virtually all the time in the house, day and night. And I can quite honestly tell you, quite often at night time, I put it on for her so she can listen to all the Naats and the Gwalis before she goes to sleep. So if if anybody ever, and this is genuine, I'm not just saying it because you're sitting here, but this is genuine. 8 o'clock is when she always on in our house, in her room as well. So it's a great service. But of course, apart from being a man who was visionary and he found a big media outlet and a big businessman, who was also, as I think everybody probably already mentioned, but I'm afraid because of the votes I've not been able to hear everything he said, is as the president of the World Women Organization, a charity organization which is well renowned for all the work that it does in running schools and hospitals, giving monies for the poor, giving scholarships for deserving students, and to provide financial support and other support for underprivileged people around the world. And of course it does this religious work as well, such as building mosques and other religious assistance and support as well. And he helps people irrespective of their nationality. You don't have to be a Pakistani or a Muslim to be beneficial of it. He's somebody who wants to help mankind generally. And that is a really very noble thing to have. You heard, I think, already about his business interests, how he launched his business in Dubai. It's interesting that he actually came originally from Surat, which is in Gujarat in India, because in my constituency of Bolton South East, I have a number of people from Gujarati community, and quite a lot of them came from Surat as well. So it's quite interesting how this is linked with my constituency as well, in the sense of the Gujarati. He left India, and like many other people in the partition who made a lot of sacrifices leaving India to come to Pakistan, a lot of them left their family, their wealth, everything they had. And so again, to be able to leave and come to Pakistan to make that ultimate sacrifice of giving everything up when you travel is another thing to be commended about him. I think all we can say is that I'm sure with all the good work that he's done, with all the helping and charitable work, it means that his rule will be very peace. And I'm sure that, the angels will be blessing him and looking after him as well in heaven. And I'm sure that will, no doubt, help to make things easier for his wife and his 5 daughters as well, and for the rest of the family as well. So just wanted to say, it's sad that such a distinguished gentleman has died. But, he may be physically not here in this world, but I'm sure his memory and what he has done will live on forever and ever in everyone's minds and hearts. So, on a personal level, thank you very much, and hope you pass on the message to your to Rabbi, by the chairperson have done, and also this is my pitching for 804.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for those kind words.
क्योंकि जब हाजी रज़ाक साहब का जिक्र आए तो एक रात, चंद रातें, चंद महीने, चंद साल जो है बहुत कम है। जितना ज़्यादा हमें मौका मिले हम उनके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं। अखबार में जब मैं ख़बर लगा रहा था उनके हवाले से, उनकी वफ़ात के हवाले से, तो दीगर अखबारात में मैंने देखा कि हर अखबार ने उनके हवाले से उनकी जो है वो खूबियाँ बयान की और वफ़ात पा गई, उस हवाले से सूफियाँ निकाली। तो मेरे जहन में आप यकीन कीजिए कि एक उस वक्त जब मैंने वो ख़बर बना रहा था तो मेरे जहन में उस वक्त एक आइडिया आया, आज की इस वीक की हमारी अखबार में आइडिया क्या आया, एकदम उसको कह लें कि आमद आई कि वो मैंने सुर्खी निकाली कि ढूंढोगे अगर मुल्कों मुल्कों मिलने के नहीं नायाब हैं हम। तो ये सुर्खी निकालने के बाद इसमें कोई शक नहीं, हाजी रज़ाक साहब जो हैं वो अब हम में नहीं हैं। ये भी एक हकीकत है और बहुत अफसोसनाक हकीकत है। मगर आपको ये बताता चलूँ कि हाजी रज़ाक साहब जो पौधा लगा गए और उस पौधे से आगे जो शाखें निकली, और ख़ास तौर पर अगर हम इंसानियत और इस्लाम की तालीम के हवाले से देखें तो हाजी रज़ाक साहब ने जो खिदमत की है, जो पैगाम दिया है, वो मैं समझता हूँ कि पूरी दुनिया में उसका मुकाबला नहीं है, उसका कोई सानी नहीं है। ये एक मिसाल ऐसी है कि पूरी दुनिया में ये जो मिसाल सदा कायम रहेगी।
Haji, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका for those kind words, and thank you so much indeed for those tributes.
It pains me to say that my heart goes for Haji Abdul Razzak Saab, and my condolences to the family, the larger-than-life man who has contributed not only to the field of journalism, not hailing from the journalist profession, but also contributed to spread the information, especially in a country where education rate is very low. This facilitation of information to all nook and corner of Pakistan was a great contribution, especially at a time where there were only few channels who were combating these challenges. I hope this contribution goes a mile away and the successors will take this lead and the baton, taking it as a challenge, and will contribute to come up to the responsibilities you are in hand, combating the challenges in 21st centuries. We may have several indifferences with the people, but nobody can come up and say that they had any indifference with Haji Saab. He was widely respected, revered and appreciated for his work. His fatherly, affectionate hand always offered support to everybody, and as a lawyer I benefited it a lot. My heart goes for you guys and for the family. Who may his soul rest in peace in heaven, and I hope that the way the media is coming up with rights, a lot of rights, but also comes up with the responsibilities, and we learn in partnership. As a lawyer I can offer my support, same as the profession in journalists, that we come hand in hand, work together and face the challenges. And we also learn from the host society, from Western media, how they come up with the challenges. My contribution will be at your hand, and my condolences. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And would like to welcome and bring along Mr. Habib Jan, who's running Friends of Liari International.
एक बड़ा काम होता है लॉर्ड साहब। पाकिस्तान में चैरिटी तो लोग बहुत करते हैं माशाल्लाह, उसमें फिर घपले भी होते हैं। आप भी हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स में चिल्लाते रहते हैं कि अवर पाकिस्तानी पीपल आर वेरी स्मार्ट, make 4 - 1 and spend 2 or 3. But हाजी साहब सच अ गुड गाय, इन्होंने जब माल कमाना शुरू किया माशाल्लाह, वो कमर्शियल आदमी होते अगर टीवी से बड़ा माल बना सकते थे, लेकिन उन्होंने अपनी बनाई ख्वाजा गरीब नवाज और एहसास, चाहे कश्मीर का ज़लज़ला हो, चाहे बलूचिस्तान के अर्थक्वेक हो, चाहे थर में जो यानी कि एक ज़री एग्रीकल्चर मुल्क है हमारा, वहाँ थर में हमारे लोग मारे जाएँ, हलाक हो जाएँ बच्चे, तो हाजी साहब का एक बड़ा रोल था कि वो अपने टीवी के ज़रिए इतनी पब्लिसिटी करते थे कि एक कॉमन आदमी को भी वो चैरिटी में इन्वॉल्व करते थे। तो माशाल्लाह अल्लाह उन्हें करवट ज़िंदगी नसीब करे और हमें भी उनके जैसा बनने की तौफीक दे। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, गॉड ब्लेस।
मुझे हाजी साहब के बारे में सिर्फ इतना कहना है कि उन्होंने पाकिस्तान को एक बहुत बड़ा नाम दिया, जो कि ARY की सूरत में, और अब हम चाहते हैं कि पाकिस्तान को मज़ीद अच्छा करें, क्योंकि ARY की सूरत में हमें इतने अच्छे अच्छे प्रोग्राम देखने को मिले। दुनिया में इतना बुरा नाम था हमारा पाकिस्तान का, और जैसा कि ARY पे अच्छे अच्छे प्रोग्रामों की वजह से ग्लोबलाइज हमें इसकी फेम मिला। तो मैं इतना ही कहूँगी कि उनकी औलाद जो पीछे इस कुर्सी पे बैठे, तो वो उसी पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ, ये नहीं कि अब अब्बू नहीं है तो हम जो दिले करें, तो उतनी पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ उस जिम्मेदारी को निभाएं कि ARY बहुत बड़ा नाम है, ब्रांड है, हमारे पाकिस्तान की इज्जत है, और हाजी साहब की रूह तभी खुश होगी जब हम अच्छे काम करेंगे ARY के साथ मिलकर।
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm coming from a very different angle to talk about the noble Abdul Razzak, Haji Abdul Razzak, and I'm coming from the angle that I was one of the very lucky presenter who was interviewed when Pakistani channel was launched in UK, and I did a program of about 10 sessions on education. We were interviewed at Park Royal, where the studio was, and sorry?
Is it still there?
Yes, still there. And I remember they were very early days. We were very welcomed by having lovely coffee and tea, and we were interviewed, and we were encouraged to bring some more presenters. And I got that feeling that there was so much warmth in that. Mr. Menon was there, I remember him and his wife. And so those memories have all flooded into my head. Thinking of the person behind gave us the privilege to do what we were doing, I want to look at his life as a celebrity, as a mogul of media. I know we are very sad to lose him, but he's gone. What I really want to do is now to request his family to do something so that our children are inspired by his inspirational thinking outside the box. Because it's very, very difficult to pioneer something when there's nothing. How did his brain work? What he did. This is what we want to instill in our children of Pakistan, that if there's nothing, don't copy people, think about something which is not there and you start it. How do you do that? And how did his brain work? And I think he should be in the history books or in literature in Pakistan, because he did a unique thing for us.
Under the leadership of Lord Quban, I would like to say hello and welcome now to somebody who represents Pakistan People's Party. He's here with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please say hello and welcome to Sardar Abbas Ali Khan. Thank you.
मैं चेयरमैन पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी एसपी, हमें हाजी साहब के इंतकाल का बहुत दुख है। हमारी दुआ है कि अल्लाह ताला उनको कर्नल जनरल फरदौस में आला मकाम अता फरमाए और जो काम वो छोड़ गए हैं वो आगे वो जो उनके जो यहाँ सामने बैठे हैं, अल्लाह करे ये उस काम को आगे बढ़ाएं। इंशाअल्लाह ताला हमारी तमाम सपोर्ट उनके साथ रहेगी। और फिर ये है कि हाजी साहब बहुत मेहनती आदमी थे। अगर आप उनकी इस लाइफ को अगर आप फॉलो करें तो जितनी हार्ड वर्क उन्होंने अपनी ज़िंदगी में किया, मेरा ख्याल बहुत कम लोगों ने वो किया होगा। और फिर ये है कि अल्लाह ताला उनको कर्नल जनरल फरदौस में आला मकाम अता फरमाए और इंशाअल्लाह ताला हम आइंदा में उनके लिए दुआएं और करते रहेंगे। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
हमारी यही दुआ है कि अल्लाह ताला इनके बच्चों को, जो हाजी साहब एक फाउंडेशन बना गए हैं, इस कंट्री में कहते हैं कोई भी चीज़ बनाई जाती है उसकी फाउंडेशन मजबूत करते हैं, वो एक ऐसा पौधा, वो एक ऐसी जड़ें बना दी हैं, उसको ये आगे से लेकर चलेंगे तो इंशाअल्लाह अल्लाह के हुक्म से हम यहाँ पे बैठ के पाकिस्तान की हर वो न्यूज़, हर उस चीज़ को देख सकते हैं थ्रू एयर चैनल के जरिए। बाकी सारे भाइयों ने उनके हाजी साहब की याद में उनके जो भी उनके दोस्तों का एक्सपीरियंस उनके साथ रहा है उसको ऑलरेडी सराहा है। तो हमारी दुआ है कि अल्लाह ताला इनको जन्नत में आला मकाम अता फरमाए। थैंक यू सो मच।
We are gathered here today for a special tribute for a special man. I have never met him in my life, never knew anything about him, but once he has passed away, what I have heard, I would call him one of the greatest sons of Pakistan. Now, Yaqoob sir, I'm sure he is very intelligent boy and he will look after his legacy. We give us sincere condolences to the people who are left behind and a great tribute to the man who has passed away, a great man. Thank you very much.
Shahzada Hayat, President of UICF, thank you so much for the planning and organizing, and of course chaired by Lord Qurban Hussain Saab. Thank you. To Baba Shukriya, Lord Nazir Saab ka bhi, he started the proceedings off, and all of you for making the effort to come here today and to share this wonderful evening with us in the House of Lords. It's not very often that we have such valuable and prominent people around in one roof, under one roof, and to share our experiences and our relationships with some of the prominent people in society. Yes, of course, there was some excellent advice and recommendations put forward to the ongoing business affairs of ARY television. The consensus, the way I hear it from the various participants today was, of course, that we should focus on expanding the message of the ARY so that it encapsulates as much of the community, Pakistani Muslim community, as possible.
British Pakistani Journalists Association UK Joint Secretary Ghulam Hussain Saab would like to say a few words.
Absolutely.
Please.
मैं पाकिस्तान जर्नलिस्ट एसोसिएशन यूके की जानिब से आई साहब को ट्रिब्यूट पेश करता हूँ और उनकी जो साफ़ती खिदमात हैं उसको भी ट्रिब्यूट पेश करता हूँ और ये तो रखता हूँ कि जो उनके सक्सेसर हैं वो इसको बिल्कुल उसी कामयाबी के साथ इस सबको जारी रखेंगे.
The final word with our Lordship, Qurban Saab. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have listened to many tributes for many people in the past. But I have to say, the kind of tribute that I have heard since the departure of Haji Saab in the last week or so, I was amazed. I have to say that a person like me, who came to this country as a child, don't know many people in Pakistan. Therefore, my words for anybody who passes away that I haven't met may not have gone that far, but I've only, based on the information that I had about the gentleman, but what I've heard about him, let us make a resolution at this point. Haji Saab is being remembered not because he was a rich man, not because he had a lot of wealth, but the good work that he did, the deeds that he's leaving behind, the character that he lived, and the work that he did for the community and for Pakistan. Let us all follow his example, so that the day that we go past this world remembers us the same way it is remembering Haji Saab. Thank you very much.